All right, so Alex McCumbers here of Forever Classic Games at one of the most anticipated games for for the year, actually. Joe is really pumped about this in particular, our producer on the podcast. So I'm here with the developers of TMNT, Shredder's Revenge, Tribute Games. So I've got Fred here with me. Fred, say hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very cool. And what part of the game did you work on?
I'm game designer on TMNT Shredder's Revenge, and I also do mostly like everything design in terms of level design and such.
Very cool. Now, obviously, you guys are just having fun with this, but tell me a little bit about how this project kind of came to be.
I mean, the guys at Tribute always wanted to make a TMNT game. Like in the past, they worked on some of them. Jonathan and Jean-Francois, our two co-founders, worked on the TMNT game on the Game Boy Advance, based on the movie, the animated movie from 2004 or 6, I don't remember exactly. Ever since, they always wanted to do another one, and at one point they contacted Nickelodeon, they were in talk about it, and then Dotemu, our good friends that also are big, huge retro game fans, that were just riding on the success of Streets of Rage 4. We're kind of doing the same on their side, so Nickelodeon just said, why don't you guys talk to each other and come up with something? And I mean, it's a shared love for sure for these kind of franchises, and we decided to just do it and come back with an amazing new game.
Very cool. Now, we got to play a little bit here. It's 4-player co-op. You've got the 4 turtles, you got Shredder and April, and a really extensive combo system. Tell me a bit about the actual game combat.
Yeah, so we really wanted to make a game that kind of feels like what you remember, but at the same time that would be like very modern. So of course, modern games have a lot more options than before, so we decided to first of all make sure that all of the characters would feel different, so that their personalities and like how they handle and how they come up in the show would be represented on how they play. So basically you have like Michelangelo, who's a bit of a goofball, who'll just run into the action quickly and do like all of these kinds of funny moves, while Leo, the leader, will just be more focused and be more, appear more confident and such. So for us, it was really important that also, even though all of these characters play differently, whenever your best character, your favorite character would be picked, that all of the other characters would still be interesting still. But yeah, with April and Splinter joining the roster, I mean, this was even better for us because even more possibilities.
I mean, obviously, everybody's hoping for more characters. We'll leave all that kind of on the cutting room floor to see. We'll see. It's coming out soon.
The game is coming out this summer in a few, because the game is coming out for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So a lot of boats to sell at the same time. But yeah, this summer it's going to be pretty cool.
And then you guys got to work with a lot of the original voice actors from the 80s cartoon. What was that like?
Oh, I mean, I wasn't there, but one of our writer, Yannick, who he's a big turtle nerd. I had the pleasure of being there for the recording session, and I mean it's just an amazing thing. I mean, we were doing already our dream project, but now we like having the original cast coming over for the 4 main characters. It's just like a wildest dream come true. It really feels like an episode of the show now.
That's really awesome. I mean, obviously you guys are super focused on this summer, but if this is the dream, where does Tribute go from here?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, we have a lot of things, like a lot of ideas in mind, even though we are kind of, really focused on delivering the game right now and making sure that we cross the finish line without any issues and any hiccups. But, I mean, afterward, it's going to be... we'll have a bunch of surprises for sure.
Very cool. Well, as somebody who's in the retro space, who's been playing a lot of these retro, stylized games, I think this is incredible. I'm really, really excited for it. And Tribute has just hit solid hit after solid hit. You guys had Flint Hook. You did Panzer Paladin, also great. And now Turtles, which is shaping up to be excellent. You guys are really nailing the pixel art polish. And it's just kind of incredible how that all plays together. So how do you guys just do it every single time?
I mean, I think we let our love for the genre just speak for itself at some point. We have some of the most amazing pixel artists in the world, I think, in terms of for animations and such. I mean, we are all old school retro gamer fans. I'm a big retro game collector. I have thousands and thousands of games at home. So it's kind of a good chunk of our lives, and I think it reflects itself in the way that we also make games and how that we approach them. We've been in the industry for close to 20 years, almost, each of us. So I mean, at this point, we know how to make games, we know how to make modern games, but we also have such a big love for those old school titles that we really work really hard to make sure that we make the games the way you remember them rather than exactly how they are, so that they always feel fresh and cool and they don't have all of the issues that you might have had in the past with some of them.
That's very cool. And last question for you, what's a cool retro hidden gem you wish people would play more?
Oh God, that's a great question. Like I said, I'm such a big video game collector. Like, one of my favorite titles of all time is called Rocket Knight Adventure on the Sega Genesis.
Yep.
This is a title that they tried to bring back a few times back in the days, but it's always it wasn't as good. But the first title on the Sega Genesis, I think it's not that much of a hidden gem, but I think it's a title that some people would be really surprised to replay it again today.
My favorite to tell people is Magical Quest on Super Nintendo with Mickey Mouse.
Another great title. I mean, even the sequel, like the Circus one, it's pretty solid too.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for being here.